Bhadram parnidhi srinayama devaha Bhadram pashyam akshapirtajatra Tirairangaye sushtavagam tattanuhi Shrimate vajitayam yadayam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. Tranquil in body and mind, may we spend our lifetime for God's realization and for doing good to humanity. Right, this evening, revered Swami Sarvagatananda, Sage of the Vedanta, Ramakrishna Vedanta Society, Boston and Providence, will give an informal talk. You can ask questions also. His topic, Vedanta movement in the West, how I see it. Before the Swami begins to talk, I shall tell you a few things. In spiritual life, the association of the holy is very vital. I asked the Swami, could you tell me what is the effect of the holy company on human life? He said, have you seen a dog with wound in his head? Sometimes in countryside we have seen some dogs wounds in their head. You know, there is some kind of germ, some kind of worm grow there, and they try to clean it with phenol. You know, they have no veterinary doctors in village. They try to cure that thing as best as they can. And when the worms bite, you know, so the dog is restless. When the dog is in the dog house, that inner worms bite that dog and it makes the dog restless. When the dog comes out, the inner worm bites as well as the flies under, you know, other some kind of, you know, other worm, flies also fall on that wound and make it more restless. Then it says, there are some human beings, they are very restless because of their inner desires. Just like worms biting inside, desires. And that makes that person very restless. And when he comes out from his house, sees all the objects of desire, he becomes more restless. So he does not have peace neither inside nor outside. At that time, do you know what is the medicine to cure that problem? Holy company. When japa and meditation they do not work, studying the scripture do not work, no methods do not work. At that time, only one method works, that is holy company. Narada says, Amogha durlavasya satsanga. Holy company is amogha, infallible, durlava, rare. They are in fact, you see, in 1920, a man came to Belur Math, an old man, and said that I did not know Ramakrishna is so great, was so great. I was the barber in Dakshineshwar, I used to shave the master. I remember it. But I did not know he was so great. Now I see his big temple and all these things. So this illiterate poor person remembered that he shaved Sri Ramakrishna. And that memory brought him alive. And all the time he used to think of the Master. With holy contact, association of the Holy. Its effect gives a deep impression in that mind that that person never forgets. In 1898, Swami Vivekananda was not well, he was vacationing in Madhupur. He went for change. It's a few hundred miles from Calcutta. And when he was walking, he saw a boy. His shoelaces are not tied. So I think he was riding, Swamiji was riding on a horse. He got down from the horse and tied the shoelace of that boy and told him, look how to tie it. This world famous Vivekananda, kneeling down on the street, is tying the shoelace of a little boy. 19 years old boy. And that boy never forgot that. Later on he became a professor of philosophy and he wrote that in his reminiscences that how Vivekananda taught him how to tie the shoelace. With that 1 or 2 minutes association of Vivekananda made him so great that I knew Vivekananda. You see, this holy company is really there and very precious. See, sometimes some people try to religion through books. I say, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes I say, reading the Gray's Anatomy, if you try to operate gallbladder, that patient will die. You will have to watch at least 100 surgeries. Then you will get conviction. Then your professor will stand beside you and he will say, now do it, let me see. Oh no, you are not doing right, do this way, do this way. In this way, your professor, that main surgeon, will guide you. After 8 and 10 surgeries, you will get conviction. Yes, I can do it. Individually. Everything is not in the book. Somebody asked Swami Shivananda, the Maharaj, could you tell me that how Ramakrishna taught it? Well, I can tell you how he taught, what he told me, but I cannot show you how he taught me. That bhangi, that gesture, that posture, his movement, his expression, that I cannot show you. But I can exactly tell you what are the words he told me. Exactly comes from the expression of the Buddha. So, we are very fortunate that we got one of our senior monks tonight to talk to you about his 34 years experiences in the West, as well as I shall request the Swami to talk about Swami Akhandananda, his teacher, who was one of the great direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna and the third president of the Ramakrishna order. Now,
well, I thought this evening, instead of having one-way traffic, I want you all to participate in this because, Vedanta movement is not confined to us, the monks. All of you, the students of Vedanta, you're all like ambassadors in a way to convey this great ideal. When you meet people, when you have an opportunity to discuss this ideal with anybody. In Vedanta there is no set priest, as Swamiji morning explained. It is everyone. Therefore, what I have felt, what I feel even today regarding this Vedanta movement, to be frank, I'm not satisfied with what we are doing actually. Because when you study Vivekananda's utterances both here in Europe and in England, and from that you draw a conclusion what way we should present Vedanta here. See, Vedanta doesn't mean all that hush-hush that comes with Hinduism. 5,000 years of Hinduism, which has brought to us many, many things. So many rituals, so many gods and goddesses, so many schools of thought. You cannot imagine. It's a world in itself. Therefore, anybody can pick up a little bit of Hindu thought or culture or ritual or symbol and call it, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Vedanta. But what Swami Vivekananda wanted us, that's a very important thing. Therefore, here I'll just read a passage which what he spoke at the last day, on the last day of the Parliament of Religions. Before the big audience, before all these ministers, representatives, what he said, that gives me an idea what kind of ideal we should have when we think about Vedanta or Vedanta movement. Because, it's one of the greatest movement in the world. Never a movement of that broad dimension and with a great depth in its spiritual values. It's open to one and all, men and women of all races and religions. It's a great, what's called spiritual theme, strictly philosophical and practically tenable. And having this, then we should think, what is that we should do if we are to present to the world a religion of this type? Here he says, much has been said of the common ground of religious unity. I am not going to just now to venture my own theory. But if anyone here hopes that this unity will come by the triumph of any one of the religions and destruction of the others, to him I say, brother, yours is an impossible hope. This actually, many religious leaders thought, if you Christianize the whole world, then we have got peace in the world. If we make everybody a Muslim, then there will be peace. It doesn't work out. Do I wish that the Christian would become Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that the Hindu or Buddhist would become Christians? God forbid. Similar is the case with religion. The Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, or a Hindu or a Buddhist to become a Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. That's the thing. We don't change, add something to what we have. We learn. If the Parliament of Religions has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity and charity are not the exclusive positions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and the destruction of the others, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be written, in spite of resistance, help and not fight, assimilation, not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension. Now, this is the final remark of Swami Vivekananda at the close of that Parliament of Religions. And later on he spoke to many places, in many places. He went. His brother disciples came, Sri Ramakrishna's disciples, Swami Akhandananda, Sharadananda, Turiyananda, Tirunayananda, all these people came. They also worked for a number of years. They went away. Then Swami Vivekananda's disciples came. They also worked in many of the places in East and the West. They moved. Some Brahmananda's disciples came. It's one by one coming now. Today what we are doing in this country in the name of Ramakrishna Vedanta movement. When I look at it, with these wonderful ideas and ideals presented by Vivekananda, at times I feel, what are we doing? If Swami Vivekananda were to be here today, would you do all these things? Or would you do something different? When you go to any university, college, or any place where other religious leaders meet, you cannot communicate with them, with any one of them, because nowadays there is no communication. In all ecumenical conferences, my shocking experience is this. You come here, you talk about your religion and you walk away. A Christian comes, he talks about his religion, he walks away. So also, we all talk about our religions. There is no communication. There is no dialogue. Sit together separately. We all join for 50, 60 years. A professor, when going through all these things every year, many times a year, he finally told me, Swami, you are absolutely correct. I saw all these things. We have not changed a bit. Because the communication gap, there is so much. We all conduct these big conferences. The result of the conference is nothing actually. Oh, he spoke well, oh, he is a wonderful man, great speaker, fine thought. What is the result of the conference? Human mind, I don't know whether it is defective or not sensitive. We defeat our own purpose. Therefore, a doubt comes to my mind. What are we doing? What kind of Vedanta we are presenting to the world? Now, another thing, when you go to any university or college, they study Hinduism, not as we present it. Even now, they think Vedanta is one of the systems of thought. Hinduism has 6 systems of thought. Some were drilled. Some books have been written. And Vedanta is one of the systems. Some other occasion I found somebody quoted Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, not according to Vedanta. And what is that Vedanta of Ramakrishna didn't agree? But Vedanta is a confusing term. Now, what is that? After reading Swami Vivekananda's works, what is that what we should present to the public here? So many cults have come within 20 years. 700 cults have come from abroad, both in West Coast, Middle West, Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, all those places, East. So many cults. Some of them are Hindu cults, no doubt. Anybody is puzzled. Here is Vedanta movement. They got more membership than us. Figure so clearly. Their membership just came 2 decades back. They came, and they got more membership than us. They asked me question, what is the matter? I told them one day, we have no membership. I told them. You have no membership? No. I call the members who help the cause. Not that we have only such, that is the number is limited to that. If you just combine all the members of the Ramakrishna Vedanta movement here, you may get 2,000. In 80 years, only 2,000 members you got. How many people come and hear and benefited and they go away? We don't ask them to be exclusive to belong to our order, to the members. That's why our membership is very poor. I'm surprised. I accept it because we don't care for membership. We want them to come, learn and go. No exclusive membership. Oh, once it so happened, some kind of membership must have. Yeah, I got 4 types of members, so I told them. 4 types of members? Yes. 1, those who pay me and follow me. Those who pay me do not follow me. Those who do not pay me follow me. Those who do not pay and do not follow me. And these 4 types of members I got, I told them. That is true. Now where is membership here? Vedanta doesn't care for membership. If you can give some ideas, those ideas help you, we are happy. You don't want any stamp. The membership it is in the West more. In India, we don't care for membership. People come and go, learn, practice at their own house, religion, that's there it ends. Now here everybody counts membership. People come from all places, want to know what is this all about. The first question is, how many members you have got? Anybody wants an article on Vedanta movement? First that question. The idea is this, first of all, what is that we are presenting in the name of Vedanta? If it is Vivekananda's concept, I am telling, there are so many people who have come from India, they also call Vedanta. Vedanta is not a name, it is a patent name. Anybody can use it. Therefore, what I want to discuss here today, the Vedanta that we are spreading, the ideas that we are giving to the public, are they in tune with Vivekananda's concept? Or are we just importing from India a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and just pass on to the society? We just go around all the centers, there is no uniformity. The way we conduct service, quite different. Why? Absolute freedom has been given to us. If you go to an Episcopal church, anywhere in the country, they are stereotyped. Their reading of the book, their prayers, their hymnal, all codified, and you follow that. But in Vedanta movement, no such thing. Because individual freedom. But one thing is most important, the moral and spiritual values. Absolutely necessary. Though holding on to those, and above all, with all my broad attitude, I bow down here to Ramakrishna, Vivekananda and Holy Mother. You may call it what's called, again, personalities you are bringing. We are making again another a creed or a cult. We can't help it. Once Swami Vivekananda said to his own brother disciple regarding the new temple, in this new temple there will be a big altar, only Om will be there, nothing else. Well, I know when this big temple was to be done, the idea came, never let us have Ramakrishna's image there. Why? Without him, this harmony and unity and the broad spiritual attitude cannot stand. Here, personality is necessary, but having the personality, if we can include everything along with it, then we'll be doing justice. We have to keep, as Swami just explained, holy company. That holy, mere philosophical abstract does not inspire us. Many times people put me this question, with all your broad attitude, why put Sri Ramakrishna's picture there? Well, I tried myself. When I remove that picture, all the gods in the world fall off. They're all standing because he is there. He said, all of them are true. We don't narrow it down. We have to keep it. Now, I'm telling you, in practical values, I'm coming. In Vedanta movement, we put the name of the Vedanta Society, then we keep Sri Ramakrishna's picture, Swamiji's picture, Holy Mother's picture, Jesus' picture, Buddha's picture. All things we keep it. Because they're all the source of inspiration to us in a broader sense. At the same time, we have to give freedom to all people to follow their own. Even when they come to us, I put the same question. What is your background? How do you think about your own individual religious faith? After knowing fully well their background, their faith, without disturbing their faith, if you can add something for their spiritual growth, it's well and good. Never to say, a Jew cannot be a Vedantin. Certainly he can be. He can remain himself as a Jew and he can be a Vedantin. So also a Christian, so also a Muslim. It doesn't convert anybody. Be yourself, add something to that. That's it. Vedanta helps you to gain more. I am a Christian, no doubt. I follow Christ. But from the point of the teachings of Jesus Christ and Vedanta movement, they are non-contradictory. They are complementary. When I know they are complementary, I can get inspiration from all of them. That is, we have to give them full freedom to follow their own religion. And you can help them to add these things to that so that you will be more broad and shake hands with others without raising wars between him and others. Vedanta movement has to help people like this. We don't ask them all be initiated by the same name, no. We help them so that they can broaden their spiritual outlook. That's what Vivekananda wanted it. Don't convert them to say, your religion is no good, you follow us, nothing. We don't say that. That is why, among us there are rabbis or members, Catholic fathers or members. Even some of them were initiated. They have got their own church. They have their own synagogue. They practice and they preach. And I've seen one minister one day telling in his church when I was to speak, he said, in this church I work. My church is Swami's church. I corrected them, no, that's not true. Here he works. He brings the same message to you all. It is not separate from that. The same message of harmony, unity. And you are also free to follow your own. It's not the place of work. Many people think, they are separate. They are not. We have to, any synagogue or temple, church we go, we have to bow down to it. Sri Ramakrishna said, whenever you pass through any place of worship, bow down to it. Here people worship in that form. And that we have to develop. And that we have to make others also develop. The main purpose of this is not only a social necessity or political necessity, a global necessity I call it. For our own survival, we have to develop a kind of what is called universality. Vedanta movement is to help the whole mankind without disturbing them. Here in the process, we are still trying to find out how to present it to them. We are still maintaining our own old traditional values, traditional deities. At the same time, try to extend. It is a process till I say we are not reached any kind of conclusion. We are trying now to find out how we can reach people without disturbing their faith. How we can bring them to a global view, holistic view, so that there will be no war, more peace. And Vedanta is the only religion that can help, because it caters to the needs of all people in their own way without disturbing them. How we can do that? How we can present it to people who do not believe in us, who do not care to know about Hinduism, who have got wrong notion about Hinduism. How we can approach them? What we should do? It is our big responsibility, because this one religion, as Toynbee said and others also, which can save mankind. In this respect, I'm sure many of you are thinking the way we are following, the way you see it here and elsewhere, the way it strikes to your mind, the kind of approach you have to make. You are free to discuss. I shall be very glad if you offer your suggestions in discussion, because this has helped me many times. Even students, I ask the same question: how do you think, coming from different background, what you expect from the point of total good, collective well-being? What do you expect? I get many good suggestions from them too. So also, because you are all in Vedanta movement for the last so many years, following and at the same time imbibing the spirit and experiencing in your own way maybe some difficulties also when you go in society. And what do you think how we should be from the point of what's called Vedanta presentation? And this is a challenging question now, because many times you have got conferences on Vedanta movement. They are to me not successful because a few of our Swamis meeting and talking and going away. The communication with the rest of society at a deeper level is what is needed. There are so many what's called ways of approaching it. To me, as I see it now, in educational institutions, Vedanta is not a subject for study. Except those who want to write any thesis on Vedanta movement here, they come to us, get details, and they write essays. At times we tell whatever we have got in our minds. But as a subject, just like Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, all the subjects, Vedanta, as somebody said today, is not a topic for discussion because it's a vague term. This word, Vivekananda deliberately brought it. When he heard from Sri Ramakrishna his wonderful revelations, he didn't want to call his religion Hinduism. and rest what's called with that, because Ramakrishna accepted Christianity and Islam. He practiced those religions and he told them that Muhammad was inspired by God, Jesus was inspired by God. Therefore, now here you cannot call it Hinduism. Hinduism plus. Therefore, he said, let us go back to the Upanishad period. Let us bring that Vedanta now. Because in the Upanishads, it is the true Vedanta, I tell you. Many times, the meaning of Vedanta also, many people do not know actually. Ved means to know. Veda means knowledge. Vedanta means end and aim of knowledge, wisdom, which comes out of realization. Vedanta means that wisdom that comes out of realization. That is it. Nothing else. That Vedanta, he said, let's bring it now. Religion is realization, Sri Ramakrishna said. That Vedanta, let us present it. To him, Vedanta means that all-inclusive spiritual illumination. In the Upanishads, absolutely they are free from all what's called personalities. Concepts, ideas, spiritual values. In a philosophical way, they present it. But there is more what is called depth and width to it. Upanishad concept is the best concept. But now we are in different age. They were not what's called these dualistic religions were not there. There is no problem. But now we have got all these things. But within Hinduism and beyond Hinduism, that how to face them, how to answer these questions. And Vivekananda Vedanta is that, which is spiritual and philosophical and practical, based on the Upanishads. Now, to us it's all inclusive. Islam also is part of Vedanta now. Christianity is part of Vedanta. All religions, any valid system is part of Vedanta. Therefore, we have to accept that theme and try to present to them in that way and create a new, cult, a sect, a creed, a dogma, which includes all dogmas and all sects and all creeds. It's really a big responsibility. There's nothing anti here. All in one. The ekam sat vipra baudha vadanti. The one being, sages call variously. The one God, Sri Ramakrishna said, people worship in different ways. And that is the main motto of Vedanta movement. Accepting that, we have to present this ideal in a practical way, impersonal way, at the same time giving place to the personalities. It's a big struggle actually. You see, when I saw, when the first hour Swamis, when they came, Swami Akhandananda's brother disciples came, already a little bit dilution started. And later on, still, we are going back to the old Hindu traditions, bringing all those things here, bringing to the people another cult way. I do not know whether that is right or what else we should do. It's a big question to me. What are we doing? How we should do? What kind of Vedanta we should give them? If we import all the gods and goddesses here, there is no end to this. America is quite wide, quite big. It has many places to hold to the temples. But that's not the work of Vedanta movement. It is purely, many times I tell our Indian friends, don't think it is in a Hindu organization catering to the needs of Hindus. No, it is not. For all people. Every race, religion, they have a place here. And we have to inspire them in their own way, not confined to any particular dogma or sect. It's a big responsibility it is. That's why I say we have not evolved a perfect system to present this Vedantic concept of Vivekananda to the modern Western mind. A big struggle is going on in all centers here. Some are very popular, some are getting more population membership. It's not the number that counts. It's not the number that counts. The more, if I become a cultist man today, I can bring millions of followers, I tell you. If I put Ramakrishna there and tell him, Ramakrishna is the only answer. All of you come, you will be given salvation. Absolutely, still I can shout, beat the drums. I can get thousands and millions of people, I tell you, today. Honestly, I'm telling you. Just keep all things off. Put Ramakrishna there and just drum. Get it. People want that. Tell us something to follow. Majority of mankind wants something of that type. Vivekananda does not want this kind of thing. No. To enlighten them, not to create another cult. Even once he said, even if they do not accept Ramakrishna as an incarnation, or if this is a good man, as a saint and sage, that is enough, he said. Let them follow him. Therefore, this is a very important question. How to present Vedanta of Vivekananda to the modern American mind or Western mind. That is a big question, open question it is. If you have got any idea, I shall be very happy to hear, because the responsibility is not resting on any particular individual. Every student of Vedanta has a right to think and evaluate and present the ideas. I was not satisfied. Even now, I'm not satisfied. Seeing all the educational institutions where religion is studied, it is practically still the cradle, one against the other. Compared to study, they call it. Why they should comparison? We don't put in compare to study of science. Any fresh development coming, we accept it. We don't compare. But why in religion compare to study of religions? I asked them to remove that word. They didn't like my comment. They couldn't understand. There is no compare to study. We don't compare Jesus and Ramakrishna. The compare to study, the word itself is wrong. They all want to put here it is, pockets, and they study, and write essays on that, they end. If science is studied like that, it will be disastrous. But why religion? Therefore, here also, not to compare to study of religion as preached by the prophets of all ages. Therefore, here, again, religion is not studied well. Still that narrow, old traditional values they keep and then go along with it. Already 80 years passed, more than 80 years, more than 90 years. Still, it is the same. Yeah, no doubt it takes little time, because a great ideal, I'm not unhappy. A great movement like this takes a lot of time to gain ground and to move on. Because I still remember one important incident. I'm sure many of you know about Taj Mahal. Before the Taj Mahal was built, one engineer was brought from Persia to lay the foundation, and he took the responsibility and put the foundation and he went away. And he never came for a number of years, 5, 10, 15. They called him, "What's the matter with you? You are sleeping. You have not done anything." After 20 years he came, went to this spot and saw the whole area. "Now you can start the building," he said. "But why this 20 years? My friends, you do not know what is going to come on this." He knew what a structure would come on that spot. The foundation must settle down. 20 years, I tell you, the foundation to settle down. And then now we see the structure above. So also Vedanta is like that. A big structure. It takes time. The foundation itself takes a lot of time. We are just laying the foundation. It takes a lot of time. Because it's the greatest ideal, I call it, according to me. Not only to me, according to many people who never heard of ideal like that. In all religious communities, they say everybody has got a dogma. You say you have no dogma, no creed. What kind of religion you have got? That is the thing. It's a way of living. Living and realizing, that's all. To many professors it is a dilemma, it is. Some kind of structure. No. Truth has no structure. So also the same thing is here. No? Vedanta movement means that. In the strict sense, it has no structure. It's a process.
Well, say a few words. I didn't ask a question or your impression about Swami Akhandananda.
Well, I was just like you all, seeking and searching, not knowing where to go, what to do. It was a time when I was in Bombay. One side is political movement is there. It's called asking us to join and do something for the nation. And there are so many other religious movements also. One was a great yogi, another is a great saint.
Who is your equal?
34. And then all big confusion actually, honestly speaking. For anybody who wants to not simply note but do, to jump into it. It was not very easy. And that is a time when, 1934, Swami Akhandananda Maharaj name I saw in the newspapers, that so and so, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, head of the Ramakrishna Matal Mission, was to come and stay in Bombay, very close to Bombay, in a car. And it was announced. Then I never knew that there was another direct disciple who was still alive. I knew about Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, that he passed away that very year in February. I thought that was the end of it, because I was not in touch with any center in India. And I saw that, I was very much taken by that news. I found out a place about 12 miles away from Fort Bombay, the place, car. I remember I once went end of October, and I got the news that he was to come in somewhere in beginning of November. Again, second opportunity I took and went 4th of November. Then they said, no, he will come very soon. Again, 11th November I went. Then said he came, but he was not keeping well. Therefore, they asked me to come again sometime. I was coming away very much disappointed. Then I saw a heavy man walking by my side and putting his hand, almost pulling down to the earth. And I saw Swami Vishwananda of Chicago. You must have seen him. And he said, "Why, my friend, young man, why are you so gloomy?" He said. "Well, this is the third time I come." And he said, "I wanted to see the Swami." And they said, "No, you can't see him, he's not keeping well." Then he told me, "Come tomorrow in the afternoon, you'll see him." And I looked at him. I came next day. And I was watching. Because when I first came to that room, it was all empty. Therefore, I was watching from outside. Anybody coming from inside, At 5 o'clock or so, I found somebody came and brought a huge chair and put there. Then I thought preparations were being made for his coming. And I found a tall gentleman with flowing hair, slowly walked and sat. I missed no time. I went, just kicked off my shoes, and I sat near his feet and I forgot to get up. I am almost, I did not know what I was doing, and I bowed down to him and sat there, almost touching the feet nearby. He couldn't avoid me, looking at me. He went on putting questions. 10 minutes he talked with me and putting all sorts of questions about me, my family. And then he said, "You see, there is one Dr. Das. He has come to examine me. These doctors know everything. You and I, we do not know anything. What is wrong with me, I don't know. He will tell you. And he also he is going to cure me. Therefore, let us give him a chance to examine." And you come again, he said, and I moved away. Then they were talking in Bengali, and I couldn't understand a word. Then I waited for some time, then met some friends, the people there, friends. And I asked somebody, "Will you be available again?" Next day, "Yeah, he's available, you can come." And Tuesday also came. And started coming almost regularly. And made some friends. One day a desire came to our three of us, regularly coming there. We wanted to become monks. Very fast decision we made. And we three of them approached him, sitting just like in front of him, like this. He couldn't avoid us. He looked like this. And he said, then we coached one, the elder of our group, you start first. Then he said, "We want to become monks." Don't say we. Tell about yourself. Then he said, "Well," I said, "Well, I want to become monk." Well, he told him, "Look here, your father had trained you for the business and you have to help him. And you be a good devotee. Repeat God's name and help your father. You need not renounce the world," he said. And the second man, I pushed him. And he looked at him, he said, "Well, your mother is very old. When your brother comes to age and he earns something and maintains your mother, then you can join." He said it in 1934. That boy joined in 1941 after 7 years, when his brother got a good appointment and he was earning something. Therefore, he could leave mother with him and he came away. Then my turn came and I was silent. And Swami looked at me, "What's the matter with you?" Because I was seriously thinking, what excuse you give me and put me out. I told him, I says, "No excuse to you. You are quite free to come. I couldn't even believe what I heard. You were free to come, he said. And they all looked at me. It's rare, Swamiji never took so easily anybody, Then I bowed down to my pranams. Then that day we were coming. Well, I was very happy. Next day again I came. Then he said, he talked with me about what is that I want, why I want to be a monk. Then I told him, I read about Mahatma Gandhi and I worked for him in Congress as a volunteer. I know something about Ramana Maharshi. He always says, know yourself. I know I am a good for nothing fellow. You need not tell me. And another yogi, I said, he comes once in a year outside to give. He is afraid of meeting people. A man who is illumined should not be afraid. Why he hides the whole year and comes one day a year to meet people? I am not satisfied with none of them, I told him. I want Vivekananda's ideal to serve people and lead a spiritual life. Congress asks it to serve, but spiritual life there's something lacking here, but not in Swamiji's teaching. Swamiji's teachings are very clear. For your own spiritual growth and for the well-being of others. This combination I like most, I told him. Then Swami said, I will send to you a place where you get it. Your full, what's called fill, he said. And he suggested the place of Haridwar. I heard about the Haridwar, I did not know where it was. Then I said, I will go, I told him. And after 1 or 2 days again, when are you going, he said. Well, I studied the other day map. There's no direct train from here to Haridwar. You have to go from here to Delhi to another place, another train you have to take it. Not by train, he said. Not by train? How? You have to walk, he said. 1,000 miles it is? Look here, bare feet I walked the whole of Himalayas. If I could do that, why can't you do that? Otherwise you can't become a monk. I have to walk from here 1,000 miles to that place. Yes, that's the test. Well, I thought he was joking, And next day when I came, he again put the same question, when are you going? He was more anxious. I said, are you sure that you want me to walk? You are doubting me? No, excuse me, I am not doubt. I say, if you say I can walk, I will certainly walk. Certainly you walk. That is it. Over, then he left the place. He told me also certain conditions. You should not carry money. You should not go for sightseeing. And you cannot stay in one place more than a day. And like that, 1 meal a day. Like that, some rules he put. Go straight there, he said. Well, it was a big story from there to Haridwar. I reached that place, no doubt, in the month of February. And the Swami there also, a very great soul, Vivekananda's disciple, who was running that center, who started that center, serving people, a nice hospital, a fine shrine, a combination of both secular and sacred, service to people and spiritual life. This combination, which was there. I stayed for 10 years there. Before it's a nice blessing of Swami Akhandananda Maharaj to accept me and to send me there and afterwards to bless me. I went to his place again, where he stayed in Bengal. He was a great friend of Swami Vivekananda, and he believed in that what's called service to humanity. To love and to serve, that was his motive. No discrimination. Hindu, Muslim, anybody. And he had strong, what's called, feeling about the human suffering. He says, what is good of it? Realizing something without helping them. He was always very clear in his pronouncement, never ambiguity, I found. But we fail to understand. Many times we thought it is some joke or something like that. No. Once we are discussing about Islam and criticizing, he came and told us, do you know? It's a great religion. Study it. Read Quran well. All things that are good, make a note. Other things, don't worry about it. All scriptures you have to study well and find out what actually they help you, how they help you, the positive side of it. And things that you don't like, which you do not consider good, don't worry about it. Don't even touch it. I don't know. How to study scriptures, I learned from him. Any scripture, what is that I learned from it? That you take it, the rest I don't know. Don't criticize it. Any prophet also, don't criticize him. What you can learn for your own spiritual growth, take it. The rest leave it like that. When you go to garden, there are so many fine fallen fruits, worm-eaten, weather-beaten. Why do you worry about them? Take the best fruits from the tree and walk away. Like that. Study of scriptures is a very important thing. Many times when we read scriptures and other scriptures particularly, find fault with them. He said, never find fault with scriptures. Not everything that is mentioned as scripture is worth reading. No. There are so many things, non-essentials. Essentials, you take it and practice it, that's all. That's what helped me very much, this kind of instruction regarding the scripture study. Because no scripture is perfect. Because scriptures contain many things. Not only the teachings, other customs and traditions and patterns, rituals, all things are there. You may not agree with them. What do you worry about it? Take up the moral and spiritual values that help you most and practice it, there it ends. That's a very good teaching which is still helping me. That's how we can understand men and women of all religions. Because every religion contains something good. And that good we have to pick up. The rest we don't care. So it is through His grace I am here today.